Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And welcome to the Tesla Life Express, where today we're going to talk a little bit about charging hubs and how it relates to Tesla.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express!
Oh, hooray! Absolutely. Welcome, everyone, to the Tesla Life. We've got some interesting stuff to show you today. It's going to be a little bit of an audio-visual presentation. We're going to talk a little bit about charging hubs, or what could be considered a charging hub. Here where I live, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, we've had a supercharger that has been installed recently. It's under construction. They think it's about 2 weeks away from being complete. That started out normal, looked like about 8 superchargers in place. The fencing went up, the white cabinet showed up, the trenching was done, the wiring was done. And then I started to notice that there was extra conduit in between superchargers. There's a little bit of a weirdness when it came to how the bullards were placed, not really protecting the supercharger stalls completely. And let's see if I can pull a video. You guys remember we talked about this previously a little bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got some video that we can show. I went over there this afternoon. It's only about 3 kilometers or 1.75 miles away from where I live. And we've got I shot a quick video that I can share with you now. What's that, Casey?
Don't forget to check the audio box.
If it's his video, it wouldn't have music, right?
There's no music. There's definitely no music. There's no karaoke. There's nothing like that.
I meant if you narrated, you wouldn't come through mute and have to re-narrate it.
Okay.
There's no narration. So
okay, well,
we can do that one live, yeah. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. So it's just going to loop here. You can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got
so V3 cabinets.
Fence up, yep, V3s. But notice these bag things.
Yeah.
What are those? What are those? And are those V4?
And look, they're between every supercharger.
Oh, they don't have their own stall.
And if you go around the corner here, we notice that.
I hope you get another shot of that door open.
There's another bag.
Oh wow.
So this is an outdoor mall, as you can see from the background. This has been set up in a parking lot area that is common to a number of the stores, kind of in the middle of the mall. And they fenced off this area around this island that they created. They used a mapping of what was already there for parking spaces, but they added this concrete island and, of course, put the charging equipment in place. But what really piqued our interest was when these shorter bags started to show up. And, of course, I was able to see that underneath those bags are wall connectors. So we've got some Tesla wall connectors, version 3, it looks like. They're the white units. And they were wiring these up yesterday and today. So they're not quite done. As I mentioned, they're about 2 weeks done at this point. But what's really strange is the placement. So you've got this concrete island down the middle, and you've got superchargers situated on the right-hand side of that. And on the left-hand side, it looks like it's set up to plug in L2s. So they seem to be using a particular setup that is using the exact same concreted island, and of course the conduit that ran down that island before it was concreted. Maybe as a savings of time and money, because they were able to just keep one trench and place everything in that same trench, even though it's going to be servicing both sides of the parking lot.
That is kind of clever, because if you've got the trench going, it's not that much additional cost to do destination charging at the same location. The superchargers are by far more expensive, so this doubles the number of charging spots at a fraction of the cost of having twice as many superchargers. And there are a lot of people that are going
Lost your audio there. You sound real hollow.
You got muffled, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
There, you're back. You're back.
Okay, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, so there are going to be plenty of people coming to the mall that don't need to supercharge, but that doesn't mean they don't want to grab a few kilowatt hours while they're there, and just opportunity charge. So now they have that option, and they can do that without taking a supercharger stall.
Exactly.
You know what would suck is you get there and it's like a holiday weekend, and the supercharger is run at capacity, and then you get some fools that run the destination charger cable the wrong side, and they're gonna be
actually. That could be a bit of a blessing too, Casey, for if this becomes a site that other cars can use besides just Teslas. You might be able to reach the cord across and plug in a different vehicle that is not placed beside, behind the driver's side rear wheels. It may be something that would allow some versatility, again, depending on how many spots are full or not full.
Yeah, and assuming there's nobody destination charging on the correct side.
Right. Right. But this is kind of strange, and the bollards that we had said, you've noticed in this picture, more bollards have appeared. So they're putting in additional bollards to protect the supercharger, which we thought was really strange initially because there was nothing to protect it. The bollard was on the other side where the L2s were, not knowing that the L2s were coming.
Mm-hmm.
So these are V4 dispensers we're seeing, right, on the V3 cabinet?
No, they're V3 dispensers.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it was a little short, but
yeah,
the shape was right.
They are a V3, so I'm just going to stop this particular one, and I wanted to show you some additional information. Am I sharing the above photo?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a shot with Google Maps from above, and this was before construction had started, obviously, but they used the existing lines of the painted lines to actually put where the concrete was. So you've got these pie shapes up here. That's where those white cabinets are bolted to. And you've got your L2 located here and another L2 over here on another side of a cabinet. And then, of course, L2s all the way down this side with another two L2s at the very end off to the right a little bit. And then you've got your 8 superchargers in a row on the other side. And of course, this yellow line is no longer yellow. It is now a concreted path where you've got the hardware bolted in place.
That's pretty cool that they were able to install the hardware they needed without taking up any parking spots. They're able to keep every parking spot that was there. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably would have lost a little bit of a distance for the parking spots themselves. If you put a concrete structure down the middle, that took up a little space. But, you eat it on both sides of the parking lot and probably doesn't amount to that much.
Mm-hmm. The same as you would have with the, what do they call this? I guess it's also a bollard, but the park stop, the bumper.
Yeah, yeah. So, this was kind of an interesting project. I've been watching what's been going on here now for about 3 weeks. And from a straightforward 8-stall supercharger, it's really thrown us a couple of curveballs, not knowing what some of the equipment was being placed there. And now I think we've got the full story. I actually was able to speak to some of the people on site and had asked them for a ballpark as to when they figured this would be up and running, and they had indicated that their job, the electrical part of the job, should be complete within 2 weeks or less. So that's great to hear. And they were kind of surprised that no one has really seen this setup previously. I actually spoke with a moderator on the TMC, which of course is the Tesla Motor Company forum, where they keep track of superchargers. And one of the moderators had indicated that this is really a strange design. He's obviously, and we have obviously seen superchargers that had L2s on another row or in a different section of the parking lot. But nobody has seen, to this point, the combination of both superchargers and L2s on both sides of an island serviced by one electrical trench, which makes sense to me, dollar and cents wise, I would think, just because of the digging would only have to happen in one section as opposed to multiple sections.
I wonder if this is a test and will become their new model for some locations.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting as to whether or not who actually did this. Like, obviously the mall has some say in what goes on here. Were they asking Tesla for suggestions, or were they telling Tesla, you know what, we need a lot of L2s because we believe that people want to charge slowly while they mall shop. Take an hour to pick up a few electrons here and there, or while they're at the Walmart or whatever.
Right, they don't want them leaving too fast, so they were like, "No, more slow chargers, not those fast things. We don't want them to just juice up and go. We want them to shop."
That's right. That's right. And of course, it's interesting that it looks like they tried to squeeze in as many L2s as they could based on the structure that was in place. So that would be interesting if I could speak to the mall owner and ask them how this kind of happened, or if, as mentioned, Patrick, is this something that Tesla has in their back pocket and they suggest different plans for malls to say, you know what, you're in this type of density, the mall is beside the freeway, we think that you should have a breakdown of, 8 superchargers compared to 12 L2s or whatever we believe is what most would get the most benefit out of.
I wonder if they're planning to put a Tesla store in this mall.
Oh, that would be fun.
Because then all the test drive cars could go on the L2s. You wouldn't want those supercharging every day.
Oh. I'd have to say that from the location of where this is, you're probably about I'd say 6 or 7 kilometers to the next Tesla store.
Oh, okay.
So this would be way too close for that type of an option. But good thought there. That may be could have been a possibility. But that was kind of interesting that this has gone this way. And again, I'll be able to figure out what the final score is, but I think we've got it pretty well nailed down based on the photos and videos that I've taken from today. I think we've got a pretty clear indication as to how this thing is going to end up. Now, it will be interesting as to how they label the spots. Are they going to put some paint down to indicate that this spot is an L2 spot, or are they just going to say electric vehicle charging? Is there going to be any signs added to the bullards? Right now, there's nothing. And will these chargers, these L2s, are they going to be the new ones with the mini magic dock that allow other vehicles to charge? I hope so, because that would make complete sense. Having 12 of them or 11 of them, it would make sense that you'd want all electric vehicles to be able to charge L2 at least, if not allow the supercharger to charge them in the future as well.
As long as people don't steal the adapters. That would happen in the U.S., but not in Canada. You're fine.
Come on. Get serious, Patrick. Really.
Also wonder if it's going to be one of the charge your non-Tesla sites, the 15,000 that we keep talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Where is that number? What locations are going to be included? This is obviously a brand new charger that's just on the, I guess you would say it's on the west side of the city, leading out of the city. So it's on a major expressway that runs through the region. So it's just off of an expressway. The exit ramp is right there. It's easy on and off access to this. So I can definitely see this as for traveling as well as the ability, of course, to shop at a regional mall that would give you some different stores that you may spend, half an hour in doing your shopping duties that week. So very cool. So I will certainly keep an eye on it and report on the Tesla life as it continues along, and hopefully get a photo of me charging there as the first one there.
Yeah,
I will attempt to do so, but it's again not too far from me, so I can drop by quite a few times. They're beginning to really realize that who's in the red Model 3 that keeps trolling by them.
This guy
and you can get some
very patiently.
Yeah, you can get some points in the most superchargers visited.
Yeah, if it's going to open in 2 weeks, absolutely,
right? Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, Patrick, I'm kind of curious. Does this turn into something that is copied elsewhere? Like I can definitely see the sense in it. Again, depending on where it's actually being installed. Obviously, in some places it makes no sense, but in a regional type mall, this type of setup certainly makes a lot of sense. And I would think it cuts down on cost. Is probably its major plus for the trenching is only done in one separate area as opposed to multiple areas.
Right. Yeah, the local mall near me has a mix of L2 and urban chargers.
And another thing that we've seen previously, before NACS became a thing, was that you would get other charging companies that would petition that same mall to let them set up, 3 or 4 different DC fast chargers. At least now with NACS, that becomes something that's not really required. You can have one location, you can have it cover all the cars possibly, and have the same technology for all the stalls. And it becomes something that people can get used to and know that they don't have to think about, I got to use a credit card here, but over here I use my app, and over here I need a dongle. All that stuff goes away if you have the commonality like that.
And Tesla's going to be collecting the data. And if they see that this is working well and that they get good utilization, and it means that people aren't waiting in queues to fast charge, or at least when they are waiting, they can be on an L2. So yeah, they'll collect the data for sure.
Yeah, and with it being Canada, those people who go to the station without enough proper preheating, they can preheat on the L2 while somebody else supercharges.
That would have helped some of those people in Chicago, wouldn't it have? If there was more some L2 charging that they could have utilized while waiting. But that's kind of interesting. And of course, this is not a huge installation. We're only talking 8 superchargers here and 11 L2s. Whereas we've seen just one open up in Lost Hills or permitted for 164 superchargers. But maybe it is a test case where they're just looking at it and saying, well, how well does this work? What kind of utilization do we get on the superchargers compared to the L2s? How many are actually full? When does it fill? What days? All that kind of stuff. So you could definitely see that this could be a little bit of a test case, even though it's not a giant supercharger.
Definitely.
Very good. Well, I think we'll wrap it up this evening. Gentlemen, Casey, any shout-outs for the audience at home?
Yeah, catch us over at youtube.com at Casey Green. That's KACEYGREEN. And what you'll get there is on Sundays at 1:10 Eastern. If you like this, you might like what we do, which is a little bit more of an expansion of the topic. We went to space 2 weeks ago, and other than that, it's typically just the Tesla stuff that happened in between these shows, and then of course other stuff in the EV industry and green living and that sort of thing. Because we're in cahoots with Patrick and his mission.
for a future free from fossil fuels. Yeah,
That's right, baby.
that is what I blog
Absolutely.
about up here at carswithcords.net. And as always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org. Thanks.
Very good. We thank Lee Moon for the music we use every week. And if you haven't already, please follow us on Twitter at the Tesla Life and on our Facebook page, the Tesla Life #1. And you'll get updates even between these shows. But please give us a thumbs up, press that like, and we will see you next time.